In our Grace International family, those who serve beyond the borders of the United States are literally touching the world with ministries now in more than 100 nations. God has given us some of His best in those who lead these ministries, and we are honored that they have chosen to be in relationship with us. Our hearts are joined together in one great cause of proclaiming the good news of Jesus Christ to the whole world in a multifaceted way. Serving as leaders of nations are George and LEELA CHAVANIKAMANNIL, who serve in India. They pioneered Grace International Ministries, established a theological seminary and college, and many associated ministries, and over 450 churches. George also serves as director of our International Ministries Board. SLAVIK and TAMARA KRAVCHUK minister in Ukraine. With the help of Grace International, he built a beautiful church in Nikolaev. He oversees over 58 churches in the region. Juan Carlos and Fabiana Manzowicz give leadership to over 250 churches in Europe, North and South America, and direct Missionaries Vision International. He operates Bible schools, orphanages, and ministry training centers which focus on evangelism, discipleship training, church planning, revival, and social work. Pablo and Ana Manzowicz have been ministry leaders for many years. Pablo is a medical doctor, plus he has a theological degree. They reside in Querétaro, Mexico, where they provide apostolic leadership to over 250 churches in Mexico as part of Missionaries Vision International. They also help develop ministers in Cuba, South America, Spain, and Africa by providing ministry training and resources, planning churches, counseling, and crisis resolution. Stanley and Sandra Moodley pastor in South Africa. Stanley is the president of Grace International Southern Africa and oversees the work that was started by TJ and Marie Bronkhorst. He oversees over 375 churches in Southern Africa and other African nations. Dario and Cindy Parish minister in Latin America. Dario serves as the head of Grace International Latin America, with ministries in 27 countries and over 800 local churches and Bible schools. He oversees the Spanish church planting in the United States. Keith and RADICA RAMDASS serve in Trinidad as pastors of Redemption Worship Center. They pioneered Grace International Caribbean with over 10 churches under their leadership in Trinidad and oversee churches in Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana. Thomas and Gladys Akute pastor in Nigeria and have planted over 50 churches, a Bible school, and a skill training center to equip boys and girls. Thomas oversees Grace International Nigeria that has over 400 affiliated churches. Other international leaders include Paul and Sharon Adams travel the world training, leading conferences, encouraging and equipping leaders through their ministry, Mission Consultants International. David and Vicenta Cabral serve in the Philippines assisting families with sustainable livelihoods, providing food and medical support. They also do evangelism outreach in many villages. Danny, Stephen, and Jennifer Curl minister in an orphanage in Zimbabwe, as well as pastor and reach the hungry through food and Bible distribution and evangelism. Jeff and BARBI David work to strengthen the Cuban Evangelical Church by providing theological and educational resources. Jeff serves as educational consultant to other ministries in Caribbean. Gary and Karen Green minister to poor children through their Christ-centered school in Mexico. They are also working to establish an adult training center. Lucas and Tara Levine lead Charis Ministries International with 87 churches, 5 Bible schools, and 3 medical clinics in Europe, Pakistan, and Africa. They are on Radio Air Jesus in 132 nations and several television stations in the Middle East and Africa. Caleb and Alyssa Mooney are directors of Juvenet International. They are working with local churches in 10 Latin American countries to reach, equip, and mobilize young leaders through camps, conferences, humanitarian aid, and church plants. Troy and Esther Pierce are in Japan assisting her parents, David and Naomi Robbins, in church planning ministry. Tim Reynolds is project manager of Assist International, which cares for the poor in developing nations through medical, children's, and food projects. David and Naomi Robbins have ministered in Japan for over 30 years. They pastor a congregation that they pioneered and saw significant breakthrough during a recent typhoon. Skip and Debbie ROTERT serve as pastors of 2 congregations they pioneered in Brazil. They evangelize the youth of the area that desperately need the gospel. Jeremy and Amy Schuff are youth with a mission leaders. providing training and mobilization for new missionaries. Jeremy recently led a team to Greece during the refugee crisis. Their main focus is in Mexico, Latin America, and the Hispanic people of Central California. Doctors Jeff and Barry Seif are Messianic believers and have PhDs from esteemed theological seminaries. In addition to their theological scholarship, they speak in many locations around the world on biblical and messianic topics. They travel and minister extensively in Israel and have a humanitarian ministry, Maseh Yadav, the works of his hands in Israel. The ministry touches both Jews and Arabs by providing blankets to Holocaust survivors, at-risk children, and the elderly. The ministry also provides socks to patients in mental hospitals and stuffed animals to children in hospitals. Jesse and Holly Spencer are in China training, encouraging, and equipping other missionaries, both foreign and local, plus shepherding Chinese pastors and teaching school. Kevin and Jennifer Stebbings have been serving in China for over 12 years. Kevin provides leadership development for local and international leaders. Jennifer also serves among the disabled and deaf community. Dave and Judy Walker travel worldwide, touching 46 countries by planning churches, training and equipping local pastors and leaders, supporting orphanages, and assisting in building churches.